Hello everyone and welcome. This is of course the ESV Korean Weekly, not the Korean Weekly itself, but a spotlight of one of the players from the weekly known as Liquid TaeJa. Take a look at it right here. One of the most famous Terrans from this tournament, at least. Certainly not in the world, but from this tournament. He's gaining notoriety. Of course, being added to Team Liquid recently. He was on Team Slayers and before that Team Zenex. Just a rising star all around. This guy is not only one of the best Terrans in the world. I would personally place him at top 5 Terran in the world, even though a lot of people would probably disagree with me on that until they see his play, that is. But he's just an amazing player, specifically in the Korean Weekly. For some reason, he seems to have this unbelievable consistency when playing online, whether it's a confidence issue, playing in real life, or what it is. He is just so amazing that I believe he's won either 7 or 8. He's got either 7 or 8 first place finishes with Korean Weeklies. He even won the Grand Prix that we did. Was that like a month ago? 6 weeks ago now, I believe. So he's just unbelievably good. And that was actually a 4-0 final finish over none other than NSHS Jakji, a Code S champion Terran. So a 4-0. That's just, it really speaks to how ridiculously good it is. If you look at his records in some of those finals, it's always like 4-0, 4-1, 4-1, 4-2, 4-1, 4-0. It's unbelievable how consistent this guy is. So to be able to watch him and just get some access to some replays of him is something I'm really excited about. I can't wait to get jumping into these games. Before we do that, though, take another look at that first overlay. We do have some subscription available. We're about to start our next season of the Korean Weekly, Season 3. Got to be 3 months long, and it's only $20 for the subscription. Unfortunately, this season, for those of you non-subscribers, unfortunately, we are going behind a paywall for HD. So if you want 720p access, get the subscription. It's only $20 for the entire, not $20 a month, but only $20 for all 3 months. You not only get the early VOD access, but replays. Oh my God! If you want to have replay access like this, to be able to see these sick games and learn from the Koreans, copy their builds, you got to subscribe. There's almost nowhere else you can actually get access to replays like this. It's kind of insane that they're even letting us do this, since they wouldn't let us do it in some of the previous seasons. So really excited about that. Also, whenever we get above a certain number of viewers, we will be going to subscriber-only chat. So if you want to be able to participate in that, go ahead and subscribe. For those of you watching on YouTube, by the way, what I'm talking about is, of course, the Korean Weekly on twitch.tv/esvision. And you should definitely follow that. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. And if you want to find out more information, of course, you can follow on Twitter as well, twitter.com/Korean Weekly. It's at Korean Weekly as well as at ESV TV, I believe. Oh, man, I need to double-check these things and get them on the overlay. But that's why it's the first tentative cast, and I'll get smoother as we go into more YouTube casting. I'm not used to doing recorded casting, as you guys are able to tell now. I do everything live usually. So let's jump into this game, get it started. It's just going to be the first replay in the series. You'll also notice that we don't have a custom overlay. We have a custom overlay on the way. It's not going to be in this video. It'll probably be in every video after this, though. Or maybe I'll go ahead and delete this and recast it or something. Who knows? But Fernando's working hard on that right now. Stereo DVT. Check him out. Does awesome graphics work. As you can see, we got some of these sleek new graphics. It's looking pretty nice. But in any case, guys, here it is. Game number 1 in this player spotlight. Between TaeJa here as our red Terran in the top red position. He's going to be who we're focusing on just a little bit more than normal. I'm just going to go ahead and cast this as a regular game, from kind of both perspectives. But I don't know who our Zerg player is. He's just a barcode, so I don't really know who he is, so I can't really talk about that. I'm just going to refer to him as the Zerg for the rest of the cast. By the way, for any of you viewers out there that are concerned or confused as to why this player has a barcode for his name, it's just a little trick that sometimes Koreans will do. Top Koreans, that's how you know this guy's a pro, but, I mean, by looking at his play. But, top Koreans will go ahead and make their name a series of L's and capital I's of various combinations so that people can't look them up on ladder. People don't know who they are. So let's say this was, for example, Dong Raegu, which it probably isn't, but let's say it was. He wouldn't want people to play games against him. Know it was him. Copy, save the replay, upload it to some website or something, and then all of a sudden everybody knows that build from Dong Raegu, and they can counter him in tournaments. So that's why some players will go ahead and use that barcode when they want some anonymity on the ladder. Looks like we're going to see a drone scout just a little bit over to maybe some common locations. He's seen TaeJa proxy in the past, perhaps, or just common locations for proxies on this map. And he's going to go for the hatch first. Interestingly enough, he went 10 Overlord with no Extractor Trick, which is not something we see top Zergs doing very often. They'll either 9 Overlord or 10 Overlord and Extractor Trick just to have a little more efficiency and not sit on 3 Larva for a moment. But it's no big deal. Little tiny things like that probably won't end up affecting the game. TaeJa, though, is going to be going for a gasless expansion. So he'll just be going for an Econ heavy build, which is something he's really known for. He loves his economy. We've even seen him hold a command center first against a 6 pool on Daybreak. So he's certainly very comfortable with early command centers. This one will be after his barracks just to be a little bit safer. This is a pretty close distanced map. But nonetheless, it will still be a macro heavy build. Look at that, dropping the command center on the low ground. So confident. Does the drone see it? Yes, the drone saw it go down. He's checking to see if he's going to see double gas go up, but he wasn't there long enough to be able to see that. We do see gas mining, though. So unlike many Zergs nowadays who actually just go quad queen to deal with the possibility of Hellions and get a lot of creep spreads set up, it looks like we are going to be seeing speed come out from this Zerg. So, you know, he'll be using that to deal with early Hellion pressure, take some map control as well. We'll have to see if he continues mining gas. For now, he's pulling off 2. All right, so he's going to leave 1 drone on. He could... That just kind of leaves his options open. He has a little more gas mining that's a little more efficient than leaving so many drones on there instead of having the mining minerals. So he could go for something like a Roach all-in or a Bathing all-in. It leaves his options open in case he scouts a vulnerability in TaeJa's play. But it's pretty economical, and he's he's able to just mine a lot of minerals. Just going to pump out quite a few speedlings. And oh, we're going to see a 4 racks out of TaeJa. TaeJa is a player who's really known for his Marines. Not only his Marine control, he has some of the best Marine control in the world. Really rivals even that of Marine King. But he also has some of the best macro in the world. Even top Code S champions like Pult, for example, when you compare replays, you can really see that TaeJa has macro that just does not slip. He never stops producing Marines. It's kind of ridiculous. We are going to see double gas transition after that, but going 4 racks before any gas instead of a more standard build like 3 racks gas, it just means that he's going to be pumping out tons and tons of Marines. Perhaps going for some early pressure with that. It's a power build. That's what it's usually referred to. You're powering out tons and tons of Marines. And we'll have to see if our barcode Zerg here is able to scout this out and tell from the number of Marines of the natural. The fact that there's no bunker should be just a little bit of a giveaway that TaeJa is going for a little bit more of, I'm hesitating to say the word safe. It's like a safe build because he's getting tons and tons of units. When we actually have 14 more lings on the way from our Zerg. So instead of droning up, he's going to make quite a few speedlings, perhaps try to get a surround on these Marines moving out in the map, or maybe he's preparing for the possibility of Hellions coming out and he wanted to be able to get surround on that, but he should see these Marines moving forward. Let's see if he goes to the natural. Yes, he is. Very smart move. Go check for that bunker, check for the Marine count. With this many more Marines out, he might be able to tell that that's a 4x if he's very, very clever. But he's going to go for the surround before the bunker's done. Nice timing, just a couple seconds before that bunker's about to complete. That's a lot of surface area, so TaeJa's taking a lot of damage, losing a lot of these Marines, but all of the lings will go down. Actually, we're still alive, going to wreak just a little bit of havoc in the mineral line. But mostly just get scouting information, pick off, the Marine count. When you're going for 4 racks, you're really trying to buffer up that Marine count, and Marines are one of those ranged units that they benefit from higher numbers. So you reach that critical mass. So picking off a couple Marines that early on, that's an excellent trade. Excellent trade for our Zerg. Let's get our units lost tab. He was a little bit more inefficient, but lings aren't that big of a deal to Zerg players. Marines are a little bit more important. So he should be fine. Combat shield stim starting at the same time here for TaeJa with that double gas. So no factory just yet. He is at 150 gas though. There it is. Okay, he's going to put that down. Looks like he will just be going for the standard Marine tank strategy here. No eBays. There we go. 1 eBay on the way, so no double eBay. None of that shenanigans. We still don't see gas 3 or 4 on the way. And a Banding Nest and Evo Chambers going down for our Zerg. So, conceivably this could be a bust, but I really doubt it. This looks more like just kind of yeah, there's third hatchery, excuse me, is on the way. It looks like more just like standard macro play. You have to get that Banding Nest when you see that many Marines out early from your opponent. He's going for quite a few barracks. You're simply going to need Banelings if you want to be able to defend. So if you're trying to rush up to Muta or rush up a third base, any of that, you're going to need those Banelings in there to be safe. And he's got some pretty decent creep spread as well. Look how well spread out that is. So should really help him in defending against any type of 2-base push from TaeJa with Marines and tanks. Oh, he's not actually rushing up tanks. He's going to be rushing out medevacs. So we're dropping that reactor in that starport. He's just going to rush out double medevac. A very smart move when you're open 4 racks because you have a very, very high Marine count. And when you have Marine control like TaeJa does, you don't necessarily need tanks to deal with Banelings. You can snipe them as they're coming in. You can split your Marines very efficiently. And with medevacs as well, you don't have to kind of engage where the creep is. You don't have to do that. You can just drop straight away into the main if you want to do that. Or, just use that as a get out of jail free card. Oh, Baneling's rolling into your Marines and you're about to die. Just lift up into the medevacs and escape for free. No problem at all. It's adding double reactor as well, so going up to a total of 6 barracks production. Keep your eye on that production tab, by the way, on the Marines in production whenever you want to just convince yourself of how good TaeJa is. Except when, you know, reactors are in production, you will, like, pretty much always see that Marine count staying pretty high, although he did just drop a command center, so just going to go for that third base. Not going to go for any type of, certainly not all-in push, obviously, but it's not even that invested of a push with a third command center this early behind it. I love this Zergling placement from this Zerg player. He's got Lings, Overlords everywhere. Look at his map vision. Unbelievable how much vision he has. He will see dropships coming from almost anywhere. Excuse me, medevacs coming from almost anywhere on the map. And that'll just allow him to react very, very efficiently. He does have a couple Banelings at home. Not that many, so he's going to have very good control. Very good positioning if he wants to actually engage onto those Marines. But there is a lot of great creep spread. Baneling speed, though, only having just been started, is going to make it a lot harder here. I love this play from TaeJa. Sends a couple Marines to take the Zalaga Tower, has a bunch of Marines on the low ground supporting them, instead of putting them all up the, you know, at the Watchtower, where Banelings are going to cause problems if you get stuck in a corner here. He is playing very well to the map. You can see him reacting, as opposed to just kind of playing blindly on whatever map he happens to be playing on. Something you really want to see from these pro gamers. He does have +1 already done now, and +1 Carapace just finished, though, for our Zerg as well. So they're pretty much even on upgrades. You see he just took out some creep, and he's going to go ahead and fall back, go home. Or is he going to keep up the attack? Look at that partial stim. Always something you want to watch for with good players. You never want to over-stim and stim your entire army and then not end up hitting anything. Next two medevacs are on their way over. Lings did spot that, so our Zerg player knows what he's up against. He's sending it to Banelings, but Banelings speed not quite done yet. He definitely wants to wait for that upgrade and try to just delay this until he has that upgrade. Then it'll be much easier to engage here. A couple Marauders being mixed in as well for TaeJa. Nice move to try to buffer some damage from those Banelings. Marauders can be excellent against that. Banelings, this would not be a good place to engage. The Banelings would have to walk around the corner where the Marines are on the low ground, but TaeJa is having a very difficult time out-positioning this Zerg and getting into a place where he can actually engage well. This Zerg player is doing an excellent job of just maintaining map presence and making absolutely certain that there's no way TaeJa can put any pressure onto his third. So he doesn't have that many drones there, but that's all right. He's on a 3 base versus a 2 base, so his economy is just a little bit ahead, and of course his gas is ahead, which is what really matters. The double gas when his Spire is about to complete at the third. He's going for that Muta style. He's not going into the Infestor style like so many Zergs are doing nowadays in ZVTs. Instead, going for the older style of Lingbane Muta, which can be excellent for denying drops, can be excellent for map control, but requires just unbelievable control. You have to be so careful with your Mutalisks. And it looks like TaeJa, interestingly enough, not going to take the kind of natural third that most people end up taking on this map. Instead, going to try to take the 3 o'clock, but a Ling is going to go ahead and block that. This is pretty far away from his natural, pretty hard to defend. So I'm curious as to why he would make this decision, but there are also some smaller choke points you can defend. It's a little bit easier than seeing Lings coming from all the way around the side of the map. So this will be the point of contention here, and it looks like our Zerg's going to go in for the engagement. Excellent positioning by TaeJa with his Marines on the low ground. These Banelings are going to get so many SCVs, though! Oh, he doesn't quite get the explosion. He needs so many low SCVs. I can't believe he didn't just go kill those, but TaeJa, his Marines getting stacked up. All the SCVs go down, but almost all the Marines stay alive, and now there are no more Banelings left over. So what is our Zerg to do? Morphing Bane's back at home. He's got 17 on the way, and his Mutas are out, but Mutas are not that good against this many Marines. They have 1-1 as well. Of course, so does our Zerg, but no air upgrades just yet. It's only halfway done. Ling's just going to go ahead and try to counterattack, but of course the command center can be lifted, so that's not really going to be all that effective except for denying some of the mining for now. Mutas have to be unbelievably careful right now. He's at 15 Mutas, though, so TaeJa, unfortunately, getting his army a little bit split up, is going to lose a couple of his Marines right now. And there's still quite a lot of creep here. These Lings look like they're pressuring to be able to threaten a counterattack. TaeJa does have some units back at home, though. He's still got that bunker and a full wall, so he's in excellent position to be able to deny that. This position just seems so hard to defend. I can't believe he took the 3 o'clock. If he can make this work, though, it'll be pretty amazing. With no Banelings in here, this Ling Muta army is not going to do well against this many Marines. Maybe a slight overstim there by TaeJa, but you never know when the Zerg's actually going to decide to engage. And that's a lot of Banelings coming in from the flank here. See how many he's got. 31 Banelings in this army, so pretty scary number for TaeJa to deal with without any siege tanks. He's got to have excellent spreading right now, and splits going off. Oh no, he's backing himself into a corner. He's got to lift. Lift, TaeJa, lift. Oh no, he doesn't get it, and he's going to lose this whole army. That is absolutely brutal right now. He's doing his best at just being as efficient as possible, but there's no way he's going to be able to hold this base. Actually, he does have reinforcements, but not enough. Well, he's holding off the Mutas for now, because for some reason the Banelings decided not to engage. That's bizarre. 20 more Lings on the way, a couple more here. I feel like he could just shut this down if he just engaged right now. But time is running short for our Zerg player. If he allows TaeJa to continue holding this location, eventually reinforcements are going to arrive, and then it's going to be much harder.